And today I have the one, the only, my favorite Scottish person I know.
The only Scottish person you know.
Not true. I know your wife. Johnny Russell. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Hi. Thank you for coming.
No problem.
Really
Thank you
appreciate
for having me.
Really appreciate you. As we said before the cameras turned on, I really just wanted to bring you on for your accent, you know?
Yeah.
Just so I'm going to go ahead and let you talk for the next 45 minutes. Just bring the people in, okay?
Give me a book.
Okay.
Read a book.
Well, Johnny, as you know, and well, everyone doesn't know, but we know, you and I became friends a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I've really enjoyed getting to know you. And while Daniel thinks I was too sensitive to be your friend, I do think you and I have become good friends.
I would say so, yeah.
Appreciative of that one.
No problem.
But no, I've gotten to know you. I've gotten to watch you play. You are an overall awesome person. You are my favorite Scottish asshole friend. But you know, you are one of my favorite people in the world. I always say that. So with that being said, I wanted to do this podcast to highlight some of the people in my world that I think super highly of. So I appreciate you being on here, but like I said, I've gotten to know you on a deeper level, and everyone else knows you as Johnny Russell, the soccer player, football player, if you will, but the soccer player, right? So they know all of your accolades and they watch your style of play, captain of Sporting for how many years?
I think it was 3.5.
Okay.
3.5.
But like one of the faces of the team for how many years were you at Sporting? 7, yeah.
7 seasons.
I feel like it was basically like 15 years with Roger.
I mean, it was.
It feels like that.
No, that's crazy though, because it was 7 years, but it flew in. It didn't feel like 7 years. So
yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying is like everyone knows you as the soccer player, right? So people don't know the Johnny Russell that I get to know and, you know, your friends and family know. You even like have no social media. Well, kind of, but you know what I mean? You kind of eliminated that part. So your like personality isn't out there as much as I think it should be. Yeah. But it's another topic. Very marketable guy. Very marketable. No, but that's the premise of this podcast is to get to know my people on a deeper level and highlight why I think you guys are so great and getting to know your story, right? Hoping that people actually listen to this. So as you know, it's called Curveball. I had a handful of life curveballs thrown at me, but I feel like one of the biggest was how I ended up starting Guided, right? So to me, life curveballs, you can go real south real fast, or you can take it and move in success. So with that being said, you know, let's kind of hear your curveball, your story. You weren't always over in the United States. Mm-hmm. Like what was your curveball in life? Or multiple?
I think the curveball that made me come over here was when I was at Derby. There was a few things that went on behind the scenes where I just felt very underappreciated. I felt the trust had gone, and for me it couldn't be fixed. So that's, even when I played in Scotland, I always had the intention of, the mould was, if you'd done well in Scotland, you went and played in England. That was it. So you either went to Celtic or Rangers in Scotland, the bigger teams, or you went and played in England. So I always wanted to be different. So when I came through...
You wanted to be different? Crazy.
But my intention was always to go abroad. So I wanted to go to a different country. I wanted to try and adapt into a new culture, learn a new language. And when I was in Scotland, not the opportunity because the club didn't accept it, but all the interest I had was from foreign teams. So the closest I got was an Italian team playing in Serie A at the time, Catania, which is in Sicily. Mm-hmm. So I was like super excited for that. They came to watch me play. The game that they came to watch me play, I broke my leg.
Oh, lovely.
So I broke my leg against Inverness, and it happened very early in the game, and I knew that they were coming to watch me, so I tried to continue to play. So it wasn't a full break. It was like a hairline fracture.
You tried to continue to play in that game?
Yeah. So I had a hairline fracture that nearly went the whole way through. So I probably played another 10, 15 minutes in the game, and then just collapsed in a heap. It was excruciatingly painful. But,
oh my God.
Yeah, so that was I had my sights set on that because I knew I was leaving Scotland at that point.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that, and it just never happened. The team I was at wouldn't accept like the transfer fee that they were paying, and I ended up going to England, which I didn't really want to do, but
Because you were like everyone else.
I know. And then the interest that came was from Derby County, and for people that know football, know that in England they're a big club.
Right.
They were in the second tier, so it was the Premier League and then the Championship. So I went to the Championship, and I did love it there. And like I said, there was just things that went on off the field. I felt that the trust was broken. I felt a little bit betrayed actually in some of the stuff that happened, and I made the decision right there and then that like I was gone. And the opportunity actually came 6 months before I came to America. There was a couple of clubs who were interested, who wanted me to go at that point, but I just had my daughter, Blake. I just had her.
Love her.
She was only a couple of months old at the time, and the decision was sort of too big, too quick. I only had a few days to make the decision, and it wasn't enough to weigh up what we were going to do, if the team was right for me, all those things. So I was like, I can't do it right now, but I'm definitely interested. So that's how I kind of knew that I was going to come to America. And I eventually came, like 6 months later, came in the January and came to Sporting. And yeah, loved it. It's probably been for me, the most enjoyable part of my career. Obviously, the last couple of years have been difficult on the field. But no, it's a place I've stayed the longest. And probably the place I've enjoyed the most as well.
Did you, first of all, I never knew the story about your broken leg. That's crazy.
I broke it twice.
The same leg?
Same leg. It's supposed to heal better, and I broke it in the exact same place after I came back from it.
Oh my God.
So I broke it.
That's another curveball. You said ding ding.
Yeah, broke it, got back from it, played like the last game or two in the season, started the next season, like 10 games later I broke it again.
Holy shit.
Got back from that. And then Roger Espinoza played in a game, so I got back from that injury. And then New Year's Day, so the same season, but a few months later when I got back from my broken leg.
Wait, in Kansas City or
no,
over? Oh, you guys, I forget. You guys know each other from... So basically Roger, 15 years, like I said, you played together.
Yeah, me and Roger knew each other, so this was in 2000 and...
Oh yeah, he was an icon as well.
New Year's Day, 2014, I played Roger, and one of his teammates headbutted me.
Oh,
The two of us went for a ball.
What an asshole.
Completely shattered, like left side of my face, so my cheekbone and eye socket shattered. So I've got metal plates the whole way around that not many people know about actually. So
well, hopefully we have a ton of
I've got like screws and plates here to hold my eye socket.
No way.
And then my full cheekbone's a metal plate. Titanium plate, yeah. There you go, Iron Man.
Oh my, he's an Iron Man. Probably with some crazy scars on your leg.
No, so I'm so lucky that the specialist for that surgery was actually in Derby.
Oh wow.
So
you didn't have to go.
I didn't have to go anywhere. It happened New Year's Day. I had the surgery the next morning, and when I came back, I had to wear a mask to play.
Oh,
so,
like those little Batman mask things.
So mine was clear, but I made it matte black.
Did you really?
Because I wanted to be Batman.
You said, I want to look a little different, like Batman.
Look like Batman.
Did you ask to wear the cape too?
No.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
No. Couldn't get away with a cape.
So, okay, circling back to I actually didn't know that. So now I feel like we're actually friends now. But when you found out you were coming to the MLS, like I know people in Europe, like the MLS is a growing, evolving, changing league. So when you found out about the MLS, like what were your initial thoughts? And then we'll get to the thought of Kansas City, but like your initial thoughts about the MLS.
So I had watched the MLS a lot. So like after my games, so the MLS changed in the UK, especially when Beckham came.
Mm-hmm.
So when Beckham came, then it started getting a lot more eyes and publicity back home.
Right.
So Sky Sports would play the games, so it was always on at the weekend. So I knew a lot about it. It was a league that I watched a lot. And I could sort of see the way it was going. The perception of the MLS in Europe is it's a retirement league for aging stars or like big stars in Europe who just want to go there for the lifestyle and a paycheck.
Yes.
I could see at that time it changing, like some of the guys who were bringing through. And I just thought, why not just go and do something different? And even since, so I joined the league in 2018, every year since, it's continued to grow. It's continued to get better. There's more teams getting in. The players are getting better. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad I did it while I came here at 27. And I knew if I waited like one more contract and then tried to come, it would be a lot more difficult because I had friends and teammates who were a little bit older than me who were trying to come maybe around about the same time or just after I came, and they couldn't get here.
Because the aging out of the athletes.
The aging
right.
out of the athletes. So I could see the trend of the way the league was going. It rings now, but when I tried to call you earlier,
I took it off.
That was crazy.
Sorry, go ahead. Guys, I do not disturb him, and I just took my phone off. Do not disturb. Really sorry. All right. Anyway, go ahead.
That's wild. So I could see the way the league was going. So that's why I made the decision when I did. I didn't want to take the risk of missing out on an opportunity that I was actually really excited about.
Well, obviously, we're glad you came. So when you found out Kansas City, like, had you traveled to the United States for leisure, or like when you found out Kansas City, what were your thoughts? Is it everybody's thought like, oh, what a cow town with a girl that tinks her shoes together?
Wizard of Oz, I think that's what everyone knows.
Yeah.
I always came to so our season would run from August until May back home. So it kind of it's not over 2 years, but it would start in 1 year and finish in the middle of the next. So we always had the summer off, whereas you play summer here. So in our summers, we would always come to the US, but it would be like New York, Miami, like Orlando,
big cities,
Vegas. So like kind of skipped the middle.
Mm-hmm. The flyover states, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I genuinely had no clue. Obviously, I knew Kansas, but I had no idea what it was like, what was here.
You say obviously, but I feel like so many people don't know like Kansas and Missouri exist around the world.
See,
like they're like, what?
Like that, obviously, I had no idea about that part of it until I got here. But I had zero idea about Kansas in general, like what was here, what wasn't here. I had no idea about it. And you know what? I kind of made the decision really based off the team. I spoke to a couple of people and done a little bit of research into sort of neighbourhoods, safety and schooling. That was basically what I made the decision on. The football side of it, I had been speaking to Peter for a while, so I knew about the team. I knew his plans for me, where he saw me fit into the team. I could then watch a lot more of like, not watch the MLS in general, but just solely focus on Kansas and watched a lot of footage on them. So I knew it was a team that I could come and it would be easy for me to adapt to because it was very similar to the way we played when I first joined Derby. It was like a very similar style of play. Yeah,
because when you came, we were just coming off of like a good run, right? Like Sporting had won
the
Cup.
Open Cup.
Yeah,
Daniel scored the winner that Tim Melia completely forgets that Daniel played in that game, which is...
Wait, did he? Daniel
scored in that game. Everyone forgets that. Daniel scored against New York. I knew that before.
Wait, how old was he when he scored? Like 16?
17, 18 probably.
Oh my God. I was thinking there was no shot I forget, he is like a homegrown.
What's Daniel now?
It was like 10 years ago, like last year, right? Yeah, Daniel's 28.
No, it was 17, so it's not...
Oh no!
I don't know.
Anyway, whatever. It was you were coming off a good,
and I knew that because obviously I had watched all the footage, so I knew Daniel had scored the winner, and we had this conversation. It was actually, I think it was last year or the year before, and Tim didn't know that Daniel scored, which is wild because they both played in the game.
Tim Melia?
Yeah.
he said no, you didn't.
Tim Melia is also a guy that doesn't learn your name for like 2 years because he thinks you're going to be gone as well. So he's getting brought up on that one.
Oh,
He
what
called
a
me.
guy.
He called me Russell for about 3 years. I was
Did
like,
he think
bro,
it was your first name or just
I
your
honestly
last?
don't know. I don't think he cared. I was like, bro, it's Johnny.
He was like, not today. It's gonna be
And now
Russell.
we're good friends. So
Yeah, he's great.
it's worked
He's
out.
great. Love his family. Yeah, your families are family friends
Yeah.
now, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then Kansas City, like, tell us a little bit about the difference of lifestyle between Kansas City and Scotland. What's the name of your hometown?
The town I'm from is called Coatbridge.
Okay.
So it's just outside Glasgow. So
Okay.
I'm kind of between Glasgow and Edinburgh, but more to the Glasgow side. I'm like 10 minutes from Glasgow.
Got it. Well,
Fair.
explain the difference. I mean, I've seen some pictures, and I'm like,
so I'm from a small town,
Yeah.
very like working class town, pretty poor town to be honest.
I actually am too.
And there's probably only, this is a guess, but it's probably 30 or 40,000 people from where I'm from. So like massive distance. It's really kind of industrial, whereas obviously there is parts of it, but
Right.
I genuinely had no idea about Kansas. I had agreed to sign before I'd even came here.
That's crazy.
So I was actually in London. So I had left Derby. I knew I was leaving, and it kept getting delayed because Derby thought I was using this to get my contract terminated to then sign for another English team. But I showed them that I'd signed a pre-contract. It was all legit, legally. I was coming here, and they just wouldn't believe it. So they delayed it like an extra week or two than I wanted, basically, so I couldn't sign for anyone else.
Yeah.
Which, whatever. But I flew in here. I think it was. I always remember it was like I flew in here in beginning of February. It was like a Tuesday, and it was like it is now. The snow was insane. I was here I got in late on the Tuesday night. I had to be up super early the next morning.
And jet lagged.
I had to go and do like some press stuff, go to do the stadium visit, training ground visit. And I think I was only in from landing and getting to the hotel. From the minute I got in the hotel, I think I was in Kansas for 12 hours, and then I had to fly to Arizona for pre-season. So I didn't even see Kansas. So I didn't actually see Kansas or get to see it until I came back from pre-season, which was the end of February. So I'd signed like 4 or 5 weeks before and hadn't seen where I had actually signed.
Right.
But it was good. When I was in pre-season, I was like FaceTiming, viewing houses and stuff like that. So I kind of knew where I was going when I came back. So no, it was
like a blind date with your house.
Pretty much. But it was kind of weird how it all came about, and not rushed in a sense, but didn't really do too much.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I did. I love Kansas.
And how long after you signed did Nad come over?
So they came over, and so I signed in January, but I didn't come over here until like beginning of February, and then I think they came over like the middle of March because we were here. We actually stayed in one night for Blake's first birthday, so we spent our birthday there, and then we moved into our house where we're still at in Overland Park. We moved there in like the June, I think.
Great neighborhood.
Yeah. So and Blake's school's right there as well. So
yeah,
that's perfect.
I know. I mean, obviously, Nad became friends with all the girls on the team. I love her to death. But what did you guys like? What is your favorite part about being a Kansas Cityan now? Because I mean, you're here 7 years, so I mean, you've put your roots in
7
KC.
years. I can actually start applying for citizenship next week.
Hey.
So I can start
have a party like Daniel did.
I know I can start the process for that. Yeah. So it's something we're definitely going to do. So I don't know. I think it's obviously a very good place to raise a family.
Yeah.
But I think the people here are amazing. From day one since I got here, the people have been so open, so welcoming. So I think whenever I get asked that, I think definitely the people. The summers are pretty good as well for the weather. But
they get hot though.
and they do get hot.
They do get hot.
They do get hot.
They absolutely get hot. Yeah, KC is a great place. I mean, I was just telling someone this the other day. Like, I get to travel so much, and you get to travel so much too, right? But like, you come to Kansas City, and it's such a good like homey place.
Yeah.
But it's also in the middle of the country. So
Yeah.
for anything that you need to go to domestically, it's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
3 maybe, and you're wherever you need to be in the country.
Yeah,
so that's pretty great, because like those guys that are on the coast and they have to fly to games in New York or to LA,
I know.
That's basically jet lag in the country.
Our longest would be Vancouver, and that's like 4 hours.
Yeah, so that's pretty
and those
nice.
guys have to do that.
Yeah, that's
a lot.
That is pretty nice.
So.
And then because the time of year, talk to me. Were you an NFL fan before you came to the States?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
who was your team before you moved to Kansas City?
I didn't really have a team. The NFL was kind of like basketball for me. Like, I love American sports in general.
Yeah.
So I was more player like orientated. So I didn't really have a team.
Did you have a favorite player then?
Yeah, Odell Beckham.
Okay.
Back in the day.
Yeah, the one-handed grab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I came here in 18. So like I had been watching it for a few years before, and the NFL goes to London a lot.
Yes.
So I used to always go to the London games when they came.
I'm sure they'll have a team soon.
What?
I'm sure they'll have a team soon.
I think they will.
Yeah.
Probably Germany as well.
Yeah.
Have one.
Yeah.
But no, I was more just enjoyed watching certain players.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came here, I got lucky because obviously,
yeah,
I was like, this is now my team.
You literally entered in like the start of the dynasty.
I think it was my second year, won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and then
you spoiled brat.
We'd go to games, and then decided to get season tickets. The year of the Super Bowl, and then the repeat.
Yep.
So.
Yeah,
it's been pretty good. I've been pretty spoiled for my season tickets.
Spoiled brat.
I know. So, and I'll be going obviously tomorrow as well. So
me too. That is tomorrow. Oh shit! All right,
tomorrow.
That's awesome. Well, obviously Kansas City is so great to have you. Or grateful to have you. But I know MLS things are different and strange right now, which almost you could say is another current curveball, right?
Yeah.
So like. And it's not just you, it's not players, or it's like, I feel like it's not specific players. It's like the league in general is going through some weird transition right now. So I guess like, if you want to talk about it, what would be, like, what's your vision, your goal overall, like for the next little bit before you, because how much longer do you want to play? 3-4 years?
2-3 years probably.
Okay.
And yeah, I was very open about it. I wanted it to be here.
I think everyone else wanted you to be here.
I still feel, and it wasn't maybe like a little bit of a sentimental thing, but I wasn't planning on staying here and just being like one of those guys who's happy to pick up a wage, and I wasn't.
Right.
I'm still as competitive as I was. I still feel like I've got a lot to offer. And yeah, I wanted it to be here. I didn't see myself going somewhere else. I didn't really want to go somewhere else. I wanted to play another couple of years. So I made my debut in the 2006-2007 season. So I'm closing in on like 20 years.
20 years as a professional athlete is wild.
I think my next season, because I played the double season when I came here, I think my next season will be my 20th season. So yeah, I wanted it to be here. I wanted to finish here. I kind of felt that I had enough to give, and had given enough here for it to be here. But obviously, the team wanted to go in a different direction, which is they have to do what they think's best for them, whether I agree with it or not.
Right.
Which I don't.
I still don't either.
But they made that decision. It's not a personal thing.
Right.
They have to do what they think's best for them. So, yeah, I'm just sort of being, like you said, it's just been weird for everyone in general. I feel like it's been very slow. A lot of guys who are out of contract haven't signed anywhere.
I feel like they're like stuck in free agency right now.
Yeah, it's just kind of, it's just literally a weird place, and I feel like teams aren't really filling their rosters as well. So it's just,
which is wild.
It's very different from what I'm used to. And then even for me personally, I've never been in this position. I've always known my future, where it's happening. Here, there's just a bunch of different unknowns.
Right. Well, because I feel like a lot of your contracts have been like longer bulk, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's like something I was talking to, I had Lucas Bartlett on the podcast, and that's like something I was talking to him about is I see it because I like live in the space, right? I work in the space of different leagues, and people on the outside don't really think about it like that. Like you have a family, like you have a family of, you have 3 kids, your wife, you have a family now and you're set here. You have your friends here. Your teammates became like family, and I feel like soccer and baseball you can sign longer contracts and then you like form that like family aspect, where I feel like football is a little bit more transactional. They get the 1, the 2-year contracts. But like, and I was talking to Lucas about this, like the outside world doesn't realize how like mentally taxing it can be. And like athletes are supposed to be like these strong, screw it mentality, right? So it's like, nobody realizes what you guys may actually be going through mentally or just in general, because there is a lot of pressure. And then you've had a great career. And you're very blessed for your career and you've worked really hard for it. But then like some of the younger guys, and they're kind of in limbo, that's hard. That is hard on an athlete. And then, like you're the captain, you're the smart ass, like, you're funny. People are like, oh, Johnny's good. Johnny's great. Like he's cool. He'll be fine. But it's still like part of the process that the outside world doesn't really like, I feel like they don't think about. They do think of it more as a transactional thing, I feel like, in the outside world, but it's like, damn, you guys are people with feelings, with families, and so I feel like there's just a different element and an aspect. And that's what I was like talking to Lucas about, like bringing not light to it, because it's not like a mental health podcast, right? But like, it's real. The reality of it is like, you're sitting in limbo and you're just kind of like, not sure what the next move is. I had a great career. I'm going to continue my career, because nobody's not acknowledging the fact that you're still an elite athlete, right? So it's like, where are you going?
Yeah. No, I know. And it's difficult. If it was just me, then I'd be fine. But like you said, I've got my 3 kids. Blake, my oldest, she's 7. I've been here for 7 years. You know what I mean?
That's all she knows.
Her whole life was here.
Yeah.
My youngest daughter was born here, so like this is home for them.
I know. And she's not a year. She's a year in May.
She's 9 months.
Yeah. Okay.
9 months. So like this is all they've known.
Yeah.
And obviously now, because of my career, what I want to do, I'm going to have to move them from their home. And that's why it's difficult as well, because I don't want to just move somewhere for the sake of it. I don't want to. I want to, like I said, I'm still competitive. But I don't want to make a move just for the sake of making a move, and I'm not going to go and enjoy it, because why would I take them out of their sort of comfort and all they've known for me to go and play somewhere that am I going to enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed it here? Like, I don't know, probably not. It depends where I go, but I don't want to just drag it out and play for the sake of it. And then I still feel good. I still feeling like probably the best shape I've been for a while. But then you get to this certain age as well where people start using that against you,
which is crazy to be called old in your 30s.
I know,
I know, wild.
But it's just the way the game's changing, or just athletes in general, in all sports, the way that people look after their body better, all the science behind it. I think careers, when I was growing up, like 34, 35 would be like, you've done well to get there. But you see players now stretching it so much and still being able to compete at that level. So that one really gets to me, the age one, because they're like, oh, we want to go younger. Younger doesn't necessarily mean better.
Also, younger doesn't mean like mentally experienced, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and
There should be an onus on teams to bring young guys through. That they're the next ones. They're the guys that are coming
right.
up. I totally agree with that, but you still need the old guys around to help in that transition, because, like you said, they're not ready yet. I wasn't ready when I was younger and I was stepping into the team, but I had good older guys around me to help me and protect me and look after me. And they taught me, like, not just playing on the field, but how to conduct yourself off of it, how to look after yourself, how to sort of portray yourself as well. So, like, I feel like you still need those kind of guys around. I feel like it's just an easy way out for a lot of people to be like, oh no, he's too old. But if he's still contributing,
right, it's not like
it doesn't matter what age
weren't putting out stats.
Yeah. So, and I'm not saying that was the reason for me leaving sport.
I know, but I'm
saying
like
in general.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's difficult. So I'm just trying to figure out, obviously, next steps. What's going to be best, because at the end of the day, it has to be for them as well. You know, I'm not going to go and take them somewhere that I'm not going to enjoy. They're not going to enjoy just for the sake of playing. For another couple of years, I still feel like I've got so much to offer, and I'm sure the right opportunity to show that will come up.
I know. I feel like Kansas City's going to call back, or Kansas is going to call back and be like, just kidding, we need you.
Nah, I can't see that.
I wish.
I can't see that.
I'm being hopeful.
No,
I'm being hopeful. Don't leave me.
No, I think that one's.
The ship is sailed. I hate that for us.
I think that one's over.
I hate that.
I think that one's over. But no, like, it's, who knows? If we go somewhere, you know, we might end up back here.
Yeah, because we didn't even talk about what you and a few of the boys went in on a business here in Kansas City. So you even have more of a route down here. So talk to us about that.
La Casa.
La Casa de Padel.
I know. I think most people would know about it, but there's a sport that's obviously fastest growing sport in Europe. It's kind of a hybrid between tennis and squash, really. You play tennis 2v2 in a condensed tennis court in a glass box, really.
What do they call that here? I feel like there's a different name for it with the glass walls.
You guys would call it racquetball.
Racquetball,
no?
yeah.
You guys just changed the name of all sports for no reason.
I'm just trying to Americanize that real quick.
There you go, racquetball, sorry, but it's just squash. So it's a kind of cross between that. You can use the walls, and it's super fun, super intense, but anyone can play at any level.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
I'm horrible, but it's,
but
don't
it's
say
still,
you know.
No,
don't say you
are.
know.
You're terrible. But it's very addictive.
Yeah.
So we had spoke about it for years. It literally just started at breakfast table.
The day I met Daniel, he told me about this vision that you guys had.
So we'd been talking about it for that long, and it just started as talk at breakfast table. We'd show each other videos, we'd talk about it, and then obviously Fonty and Uri, being, you know, from Barcelona, they were obviously, they grew up playing it, so they knew about it a lot more. And then we just decided one day, like, why don't we just stop talking about it? Why don't we just do it? Like, we all wanted to look into doing some sort of business venture in Kansas. We're like, why don't we just do this? We'll try and bring it here.
Because your guys' names carry a lot of weight in the city, to be honest.
So we just thought, why not? We're all here. Let's try and bring it here before, because it's only a matter of time before I feel like it's everywhere here. So we thought if we get in first.
Like pickleball, it went crazy, right?
Yeah, and no disrespect to pickleball, I just feel it's a lot better. You get a lot more from it.
Oh, I very much enjoy it.
So I just, we decided to do it. So we opened up it was supposed to be a temporary location just to get the word out there. So we looked at a bunch of different places, and we actually got put in contact with the guys at Overland Park Racket Club. It's been amazing. Signed the contract with them for a few years, with the looking to expand in the future.
Love that.
Maybe, so we'll see. And then obviously we're opening our brand new facility, hopefully at some point towards the end of this year, all going well. So that'll be 6 courts. 4 of them will be completely covered indoor, so you can play all year round.
Amazing.
And then 2.
I'll work on my game then.
2. You need that. And then 2 will be outdoor, but pretty much fully covered. You'll see it when the building is done. It's really incredible building. We had Chem Studios architects work on that for us. They've done a great job. And then obviously there'll be amenities in there. There'll be a little cafe and bar and stuff as well, so a little hangout spot.
European vibe to it.
Little European vibe. So no, we're really excited about that. We're just sort of finalising everything for that right now.
Yeah.
So
that's
hopefully we'll have that this year, and then that's something for us always to come back to as well. Even if, you know, a couple of guys move and we don't know where we're going to end up, it's always something that will bring us back and keep us here. So that's good, because you share so much.
Instead of doing the off-season travel to each other's countries, you come back to the business.
We come back to the business, so that was good. But, I mean, we decided we were going to do that every year, and we kind of stopped after Barcelona. We're like, we've kind of hit our peak here. So, but then Fonte did come to Scotland, him and Roger.
Yeah, last year, right?
I think it was last year, yeah. Last off season.
Yeah, because Lo went too.
Lo, because they were there for
a wedding.
And they decided to come up, so that was good. That was fun. So
I'm gonna have to take a trip.
You should. I mean, you've been to Italy as well, so
yeah. Well, I haven't been to Scotland, Ireland, London, like anything over there. Just go a little further, you know.
No, it's definitely. I would recommend it to anyone.
I feel like I have to go with my Scottish friend.
Yeah, I know.
The only Scottish person I know,
it's
right?
It's probably not a good time to go. The weather's always rubbish, but it's like the summer or the fall was probably the best time I would recommend someone to go there. And do the whole tourist thing. Go to Edinburgh, go and do the Highlands. You have to do that. Probably stay away from Glasgow.
Why?
It's a little bit not what it used to be.
Oh, okay.
No, it's still home.
Okay. Well, okay. We talked a lot about your career, your roots in Kansas City, because we're trying to keep you here forever. I want to keep you here forever. Hopefully you will stay forever. We'll see. But I mean, thank you so much for talking to me today. I appreciate you always. You know, my friend, even though you might not admit it. But no, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. But thank you so much, Johnny. We love you as a city. I mean, everyone has been a huge Johnny Russell fan, and I guarantee you, I'm going to send a picture of a million Russell jerseys still at the stadium. It's not going to die, damn it.
No.
But thank you so much for being on here. Thank you so much for everything you've meant to the city with your time with Sporting Kansas City. We're very sad it's over, and I know I speak for literally everyone. But thank you so much for joining me on the podcast.
No problem.
Thank you so much for not grilling me on the podcast. I was expecting.
I'll wait till we get off.
I was expecting a little bit more banter, and I was gonna have to like, oh my god. No,
it's your podcast. I don't want to take over. I don't want to take your show.
You know what? You should
be Curveball by Jay after this.
Yeah.
Take the G out.
He just moves me out of the way. He's like, get out of here.
That's your curveball. You're gone.
Actually, the curveball is, this is now Johnny Russell's show. But thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you, and always am cheering for you, rooting for you wherever you go. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Always. Thank you.